As promised.
You guys look like Cheetos.
We're a direction protection program. Oh shit. Cheetos, I like that.
Witness protection program.
Yeah.
This protection program.
Hey, I could have said something worse.
Could have said something worse. Yeah, we all could have said something worse. So, Nickleback.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. This is their sit. Before I get into it, you know, we've done this show quite a few times.
It's in our first rodeo.
I can usually tell, specifically Hialeah, when he really likes an album, because before we go live, he will play it. This did not happen tonight.
It's not as bad as you think it's gonna be. Is all I got to say.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce the album like I usually do. This is Nickelback's 6th album, so well into their career. And it was released November 19th, 2008. Recorded March to July of 2008. Mountain View Studios in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Released on Roadrunner, Atlantic EMI. And produced by the band themselves, Joey Moy, and
Mutt
Lang.
Lang.
If anybody knows anything about Mutt Lang, he is
Lang.
rather prolific producer in the industry. He's produced for Def Leppard, AC/DC, you name it, Foreigner, and he is married to Shania Twain.
He was, right?
Lucky bastard.
He was, though.
Are they still? I don't know if they're still married or not.
They had
Is he still alive?
Yeah, dude, they had the big brouhaha. You don't remember that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're not married anymore. That was quite a while ago.
He left her for her best friend, and then she hooked up with
His best friend.
her ex. So it was like they swapped, if I remember it correctly.
Wow.
Yeah, they all swapped. That was a big thing, man. That was in the Inquirer. That was in Star. That was all over the place.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's got to be 25, 30. It's been a while. It was in the 90s, I think. I'm guessing, if I remember right. It's been a while. That was Tabloid Bonanza back then.
Bonanza. This is a. I've been thinking about this the last couple of days. What I was gonna say about this.
Did you have any sleepless nights coming up until tonight?
No.
Oh, I think you did. I think you're being kind.
No. Well, I take that back. Yes, not yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. But that was because the dog woke me up.
Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna blame the dog. We're gonna blame the dog.
I was sleeping peacefully until he woke me up.
Gotcha. He sensed something.
Yeah, doing his beatboxing.
Doing his beatboxing. Yeah. But this is the type of album. Again, it's their 6th album, and it I don't want to say it rode the wave of the success of the previous album, because the album before this was all the right reasons. Mm-hmm. And that album, it's a diamond album. 11 million copies. I mean, I remember it cleanly when I got out of college. That album was freaking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The local band that I frequented had it on the jukebox, and
On repeat.
yeah, basically on repeat. I mean,
Yeah.
I think there was like 8 singles off of that record.
I can only remember one.
Yeah,
Wasn't there 8 off of this one allegedly? But I never heard any song off this album.
No, there was 8.
Right?
But it said, but Boat told me that he read that 8 out of 10 songs were singles.
I've never
No.
heard a song on this album.
Yeah.
I never
there
even
was-
heard of this album.
8 of them were singles. Yeah, I thought that was wild. Anybody who watched, so this came out in 2008. Anybody who watched WWE SmackDown, Raw, this was the theme for a couple years. I believe it was Raw, but I can't remember.
Which song?
Correct.
Burn it to the
Burn
ground.
it to the ground.
Burn It to the Ground?
Yeah.
It's almost like Seth Rollins' song now. It's almost like LA right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Burn ointment.
unimaginable, dude. I
There ain't
can't.
enough burn ointment in the world. That's terrible.
Uh-huh.
I can't find it.
His is called something similar. Ew, Jim Kimmel.
WWE.
Gross. Ew, bro.
Considering it had 8 singles, right?
Yeah.
It only ranked 191 on the Billboard's top 200. Oh, albums of the decade. I'm sorry.
It's for the decade, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't buy that. I mean, I know the decade of music was shit, but damn, I wouldn't think it would be at 191.
Yeah. It peaked at number 2. And it was on the charts for quite a while.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
Years.
Charts for this album?
Like 4 years. It was like 200 or 100 and something weeks or something.
How? I've never heard a single song of this album.
I've
And
never heard.
The radio loves Nickleback.
125 consecutive weeks.
And then it left and it came back.
Yeah. It came back 5 years later.
It came back, Boat. It came back.
Yeah.
Does Nickelback have more singles than the Beatles?
They're number 2.
They're not number 2.
I couldn't believe how much albums this sold. There was like, what was it, 3 million originally?
Yeah.
And now it's
5 million total.
Now it's in 5 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked because I'm like with both. I think looking at some of the videos, I think I kind of remember one. But other than that, it was because of the video. It wasn't because of the song. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. And like I said, the radio loves Nickelback, so
Mhm.
I would have surely thought I would have heard at least one song off this album.
I think. See, my wife's a Nickelback fan, so when this came out, I bought it for her for Christmas. So outside of us listening to the album in the vehicle or at home, I think I only heard 1 or 2 of the songs on the radio. Actually, on the radio.
Yeah.
And it was probably this afternoon was probably the most widely played one.
That's the one I think that I remember the video
Yeah.
vaguely.
Donnie, you got an echo.
I think If today was your last day and the burnt around.
All right, let me bounce back out and see if that clears it.
Never heard any of these songs, bro.
Never, not a one.
I remember the video for that. This afternoon's the last song, right? I believe it's the last song on the album.
How's that?
The video. Talk. Say something.
Hello?
There you go.
Is that better?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the first time I've ever experienced that. That's weird.
Now, my big question to start off with this album of conversation: what is the demographic audience for this album? Because some of the songs they were singing about, it was like
They know they're
sexual, I guess you could say. So was that like for the women? Was it for the men? Or is this band or is this album for like middle school age
Oh Lord.
girls?
To me, I would say like the popular college frat sorority type.
Or the middle-aged yuppies, like middle-aged business folk that goes out to the bar and has a few drinks and puts on Nickleback.
Yeah. But then there's a love song to your daughter thrown in, you know.
Yeah, dude, like every other song, I'm like, he said what?
Exactly.
He's gonna do what to this woman? He's gonna have her do what?
Yeah.
I laughed.
I'm like, good Lord.
I was listening.
S is for, E is for, X is for.
You're gonna make her do what with her mouth?
I listened to it and I was like, this is like Sex the album. And I scrolled down, there's a song called Sex and I laughed so hard.
But then she's never gonna be alone. Then it's a ballad for her and for your daughter, according to the video, right? I don't know if you guys saw that. The video is.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
The video for that. It's almost like he's singing to his daughter.
And that's from the last song on the album?
No, that's the song You'll Never Be. I believe it's Never Be Alone. I believe that's the song that the video is. It's almost like about her graduating, and he'll always be the father, and he'll always be there for his daughter. But then all the other songs,
and the song right after is about prostitution.
It's you guys nailed it, Bo. That's exactly the same way I saw it. It was like, I don't know if they what do they want to be?
Yeah, what's
the going on?
Audience, like who are they singing to?
Yeah.
And there was a mix-up with their songs and albums. Because that one shouldn't be in there.
Oh.
They made an oopsie.
Like they made an oopsie, she said.
Yeah. That song shouldn't be in there.
But that's what that song's about, right? According to the video, or that's the way the video played it.
And what about the name of the album? Like, how does that relate to this album? Do you guys have any idea? Like
dark part, I'm not sure. But like the dark part, probably because of the sex type songs. Yeah, the horse, I have no idea.
Yeah, the original title was "Burn It to the Ground."
I read that, yeah.
So
personally, I think that would have been more of a fitting title to the album.
Yeah,
I do like the album cover though. I think the album cover is cool
because it is a high energy song.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, with Dark Horse, it seems like it should have. If it was going to be called Dark Horse, that would be a little more darker, more. I don't know.
It kind of takes
Emotional,
me.
maybe like more. I don't know.
It
Something
reminds
other than
me.
sexual.
Yeah, it reminds me of what is it? The David Bowie album, Dark Star. You know, it's nothing like that.
I mean, if anything, it should have been a Trojan horse.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Hint, hint. But
I feel the same way.
I gave it a listen.
I listened to it twice.
See, to me, Nickleback is the type of band is more for the casual listener.
Yeah.
That's how I've always pictured them, because they've got all the right combinations, like the hooks and
Sure.
you know.
Definitely a bar style music and video game music.
Yeah.
For like high for
It's like
wrestling,
Madden.
like the wrestling, like a Madden song, or you know, something that would be thrown into it for gaming,
which is
'cause
also like
it's high energy.
those are also casual games as well.
Bo, you're on fire. Bo,
has-
you're on fire, dude. You're on fire tonight, dude. You're freaking.
I'm burning it down.
Bro, you're both of you guys. We all three of us are like in cahoots, bro. We're like in cahoots. Your voice, you're putting it, you're vocalizing what I thought too. A bar band, almost.
or
Yes.
arena, definitely like an arena rock band.
Yeah.
Sure.
If I was young, if I was younger, listening to this, I would have loved it. Because this, I think of AC/DC Back in Black. All those songs are super sexualized.
Yeah.
But and I still love that album. I still listen to that. I still listen to Highway to Hell. It's the same. It gave me the if I would have heard it younger, I probably would have fallen in love with the album. But since I'm older and I've kind of moved on from that, even though I love AC/DC and those albums because I loved them when I was a kid and I got super into them, and I didn't know what the album was about. It was like, she's, I wasn't thinking in those terms back then because I was like 10, I just loved the music. So I would have loved this album if I would have been younger.
So that takes me back to my initial thought, like, who is this for? Is this for a younger kid? Because to me, this would be like ideal for like somebody getting introduced to the rock genre or hear music, like a middle schooler or a young high schooler.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you get these middle-aged people that's I don't know if they're trying to relive their youth or stay youthful, so they listen to this type thing because maybe the Metallica or the Pantera or the Slayer, whatever, might be just a little too heavy, and the Nirvana might be a little too grungy, dirty. So
Kiss hasn't put out a new album. I gotta listen to something.
See, this band, I'm gonna give it to you right here, right now. This band is the lesser equivalent to the Five Finger Death Punch audience and music.
I think you got it. I agree with you.
Yeah, that fits.
Because you have your Five Finger Death Punch, like, main fans and stuff like that. I guess the people that are not quite into as heavy or whatever, they would fall into the Nickleback category.
Yeah.
And then you go one step below that, you're falling right into the Goo Goo Dolls category,
which we're gonna get to later on in this in this season.
I think back This album is, I don't want to, maybe stereotypical might not be the right word, but it's indicative of a lot of the stuff that was coming out around that same time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like your Puddle of Mud and your All American Rejects and those bands. It's also, you know how some bands, they have those companion albums, and you can kind of tell that this is the follow-up to their most successful album because it's got a lot of those same tropes and pop hooks and stuff like that.
So what about the first 4 albums? Were they not like on the map yet at that point?
They were. Their third and fourth album is kind of what started to inch them into the fold, but it wasn't until All the Right Reasons that, you know, like Arena Madness and
Yeah,
you know,
It came together for that album.
yeah.
I gotta say, the songs aren't bad. They're not bad songs.
no, not at all.
Not at all. It's not Whitesnake. Okay? It's not Whitesnake.
Not Journey.
It's hey, come on now. Come on now. It's not Whitesnake.
Not the Eagles.
It's not Tommy.
It's not Tommy. Okay? Because the songs aren't bad. It's not like it's like, oh, I can't listen to this. It's just not what I listen to anymore. More of a thing. Because the songs aren't bad. The songs aren't bad, except for one. I didn't like the last one. The afternoon.
See, that's where I disagree.
See, I didn't like it. I think
the last track was the best track because it was different from all the other tracks.
I didn't like it. I don't like it. And then when I see the video, I like it even less.
So I didn't know there was a video.
Oh, you gotta see the video. That's the one that I kind of remember the video.
I'll take your word for it.
No, watch the video. You need to watch the video.
You know, I watch a video one time, then I'm gonna get on my feed is gonna be Nickleback videos on my feed for the next month.
Oh,
Look at this photograph.
Then I'm gonna have to watch every one that comes up.
You have to.
yeah.
I like if I had to pick one song out of the entire CD, it would have been the last song because it was different.
That's the one I always sort of jammed to. I was jamming to it earlier.
Nah.
Thank you.
Just, you know.
I don't know. I think maybe the video kind of ruins it for me.
What's it about?
They're like playing at a fraternity house or something, and there's college kids playing, you know, water and girls, and they're playing like and they're just playing. They look like college kids. They look like what's that Will Ferrell movie when
Old School.
Old School. It's kind of like an old school field video.
That was probably right around the same time, right? That movie came out.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now, this is my big question. Are they from Nashville?
No, they're Canadian, right?
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Yeah. Okay.
They're from Alberta, or Alberta area.
Canucks.
I could see this album writing off the success of the prior one, and it's funny because one of the albums I picked is kind of that. The Kid A, the Radiohead album that I picked, Kid A, is kind of like a piggyback off the album that came before, which was their big, you know, commercial. Not commercial because they never been commercial, but I guess it's their most popular album. I think the covers, you know, it's called Dark Horse, and that's the cover. I think it's fine. I'm cool with the cover. I think it looks badass.
What exactly is it?
It's a horseshoe,
Why?
right? It's a belt. It's a belt buckle, ain't it?
Yeah. It's just like
so, yeah.
underwear.
It's a belt buckle.
Is there any significance as why there's 3 studs on the left and 4 on the right?
That I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm cool with the cover. The cover looks badass to me. I'm cool with it.
Makes it unsymmetrical.
I didn't notice he pointed that out.
Kind of black and blackish.
But it seems like this would be, to me, it would be like it should have like a Celtic sound to it. What's up, Jeff?
I did. To me, it's a little country, and I did get a little country in it. What up, Jeff?
Issue with country?
What?
Does he have an issue?
No. Would you stop?
I like country. I don't got an issue with it.
I like country too, just not the new stuff.
Yeah.
Past like 1980.
Well, anything after the 90s is definitely garbage.
My cousin's big into country, and he sings this one song. He always puts this one song on, and it kind of reminded me one of the songs. Oh, the afternoon song reminds me of a country song. It's a whiskey song that he always plays. Something about whiskey.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was thinking earlier, I likened this, and it's kind of significant since that, the Def Leppard relation with Mutt Lange. But I liken this record to this is to Nickelback what Hysteria is to Def Leppard.
Now, is Nickelback, they're a 3-piece band, correct?
No, I think it's 4P. It's 4.
4?
So you're looking at,
because you can tell this album was really produced.
Yeah.
Mutt Lange. It's Mutt Lange, yeah.
Yeah.
You said Hysteria to what? Pyromania?
No, this album is their Hysteria.
And the one before is Pyromania?
Pyromania, yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
but
can
was
see
Hysteria like massive?
Hysteria was massive, yeah. It just
Actually had true singles on it.
yeah.
Hysteria was
in terms of like the production, the overall production of it, and
okay.
what was involved. It's
Yes, Hysteria is definitely.
It's their biggest album. That's Def Leppard's biggest album, I would think.
Yeah. Those three albums for Def Leppard, Pyromania, Hysteria, and Adrenalize, were pretty massive.
I like my favorite is Pyromania.
I think I've only heard Hysteria.
My favorite Pyromania was the one that I really like, and then when Hysteria came, I kind of fell off because I also like it. There's the one where the guy's diving into a pool. That's the album cover. I forget what.
High and Dry.
High and Dry. High and Dry.
You got anything since it's your pick?
Something in your mouth caught me off guard.
Yeah, she said that.
I was like, what?
See, that's what made me think of when you say about who was the target audience. That's what made me think about the sorority girls and the frat boys. That's the same. When I was during that time when I was going to the bars and going to whatever we considered a dance club, that was the type of shit that you saw. Was the girls at the bar that were, walking around teasing all the guys, and
that's what threw me a curveball because I'm like, is he singing to girls? Because I know girls really don't want to hear that, and guys, I wouldn't think too many guys really want to hear the band play.
yeah. And I think that might have been the point of the song.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
he was making fun of.
He brought the middle school thing earlier. Like, you go through the comments, that's most of them were about. Like, oh, I got this album, I come home from middle school, and after I sing on, this thing's my life. And it's like, there's a lot of those. So
you actually read some of the comments?
I went through the comments on a lot of them. But
I see.
The comments are the best part of everything now, man. I crack up in comments.
It's crazy. You see a song and a million people are like, this is the greatest song ever made. 2024, if you're listening.
Yeah, everybody's 22. Now it's going to be 2025. Anybody still here? 2025? It's and those are the two bookends. The sorority video is the last song, and what is it? So the mouse song is the first one, right?
Yeah.
So those are the two bookends.
And you got the daughter, one about his daughter, and they're right in the middle.
She'll never be alone because her daddy will always be there for her. You gotta watch the videos, bro. It's so sentimental, but then then they're talking about all this other stuff. I honestly I was shocked how much this album sold, how popular it was, because I had never heard it, and then listening to it, it's like, dude, I don't know what. It's you nailed it. What audience? I know the audience, but it's the demographics.
Yeah.
The age group.
Yeah.
Did you hear those lyrics for the first? Did you read those lyrics this past couple of weeks listening to it? You were shocked when you first heard it, Skylar?
I was shocked when I first heard it.
And what did you think? Why is my dad letting me hear this? Is that what you thought?
Probably, yeah. And to me, it's different from the other albums of theirs I've heard. And I probably won't listen to it again.
Why?
That's my point. It's like what he's singing about. Females don't want to hear it. Most of the guys don't want to hear the music. And it's like that's my point. It's like, who is he singing to?
Yeah, that's confusing. Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe college guys.
College dudes. I think number one is the college dudes, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Or your middle school, high school kids or whatever.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I think the only one I listen to again is "Burn It to the Ground." That's it.
That's the rocker for you?
Yeah.
Okay. I bought several albums for that reason, for one song. That was a mistake we used to do all the time back in the day.
Yep. Back before the YouTubes.
Yeah. Yeah, before the YouTubes, yeah.
And the Spotifys and the
Pandoras and
you would buy it for one song and hope the rest of the album is good. And it didn't always work out that way.
No, even sometimes you could buy just the one song.
Yeah. Yeah, remember the cassette singles, the 45s, and all that?
I even had a couple CD singles.
Man, I think I did too.
Hammer Smash Face with the Cannibal Corpse single.
But my buddy in college had that single.
It had 3 tracks on it.
Yeah. It was the cover was red.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Probably grab it. It's right here.
Hold on. Hold quick. We have it.
We have it.
Oh, yeah, look, there it is.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, with the freaking candles.
Pretty neat.
3-track single CD.
What the hell was I going to say? I'm just going to say something.
It caught me off guard. Back to what he was singing about. It caught me off guard because I didn't think Nickleback sung like that.
Yeah.
Me neither. Yeah.
From all the songs I've heard on the radio or whatever. I did not expect majority of this album to be like that.
Maybe that's the answer behind the the album title.
Possibly, yeah.
You know, because you listen to the previous album, I mean, it didn't have that same feel. You know what I mean? So here's your good and evil type scenario.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not giving me
The Dark Horse.
it's targeted at, but it's giving me the reason for why they did the album.
Oh well.
Hang on. I lost it. There. Dark Horse is the sound of Nickleback's worst tendencies, respectfully subsumed into Lang's, which isn't nearly as offensive as it might sound to non-fans. It's nice to hear the band messing with its formula a bit, at least, especially since Nickleback's last disc, All the Right Reasons, was still spewing singles, 7 in all, a few months ago, and only recently dropped off the Billboard album chart after a heroic 156-week run. The formula worked smashingly for the first 5 Nickelback albums. They could easily have done the same for the 6th. Like, it's not giving me who the target is, but I guess for people who could relate to that, to having bad tendencies.
They got more raunchy.
Yeah, it's them fucking around with it, saying, "Hey, this is something we can actually do." You know, so we did it.
Maybe they got cocky and said, no pun intended, that they're like, we did so good, we can do whatever we want.
We're bad boys. Yeah, we're bad boys too, man. We're not that clean.
We're not the preppies.
We're able to drop fumble a few.
But you know what? And they still sold a shitload of
The
albums.
views on this are insane.
Really?
On YouTube, 50 million, 40 million, 30 million, 10 million.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Across the board.
I just don't get
Wow.
it. Man. I don't see it.
Wow, I don't see it either, man. I don't see it either.
Yeah, is it popular? Is that why you're saying that?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
get so many views.
think it would be that way either.
I mean, views can be static because it's somebody might have clicked on it and only got a couple seconds into it, but
yeah.
at the same time,
That's a shitload of video. That's a shitload of views, though.
that's a lot of views.
It's a music
That's a
video.
lot of views.
Because that's just the album itself.
I'm trying to look at their follow up. Oh, the follow up peaked at number 2.
If Today Was
Fair
Your
enough.
Last Day has 118 million views.
Yeah,
Say what?
118 million, and Never Gonna Be Alone is 103 million.
Unbelievable.
But those are 15-year-old videos, so
nah. I would believe that with Today Was Your Last Day.
They're just living off the income just off of those 2 videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
That Alone song, I could see it being played at weddings. You know, father-daughter kind of shit. I don't know. Do you guys do 15s? Is that in your culture a big thing? 15s? That's more a Latin thing. I don't think they'll play that at a Latins, but it would be perfect if.
Jewish, I think, right?
I'm sorry?
And Jewish, right? Ain't that when they do bar mitzvahs and stuff?
Or mitzvahs, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, they might be, but they might. I could see that song being used like crazy. Like you know that band Train? All their songs could be used in weddings, and it was used in my wedding. But it's kind of like that. And they probably have millions of freaking views for their songs as well because they're used for that.
Event songs.
Event
That's
song.
what they are. That's what they are. They're an event band.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You said it was in the WWE.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that must have got freaking crazy views just because of that.
Oh yeah, easily. And it was the theme song for at least a solid 2 years.
Oh yeah, that got them an audience, and those they were probably just
Yeah.
tuk, 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 tuk.
Well, now I believe they used
240,
for a short time. I don't remember what it was for. It might have been for
976.
one of the pay-per-views, but they used they covered Saturday Night's All Right by Elton John,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pretty sure it was around the same time.
Damn.
I will say, Nickelback is a great Metallica cover band. They did
They
There's
do a
for them,
fantastic job.
do a Metallica song, and it's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chad Kroger does a great Hatfield impression.
They're a lot more talented than people give them credit for. I know that for sure.
Oh, I definitely don't. I don't disregard their talent.
Yeah. It's not about that. Yeah.
I think because back to my comment earlier about them being more for the casual listener, you know, it's when that's what I was gonna say earlier. When it's, you know, the four of us are, I would consider pretty seasoned album listeners
Mm-hmm.
versus Skylar and anybody like Skylar who doesn't really listen to albums, need to listen more than just songs or whatever. It doesn't fit our mold, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's not necessarily, it doesn't make it a bad thing.
it doesn't make it bad. Yeah. It's like what I was saying. If I was younger, like when I first heard AC/DC, it would have been Nickelback. I would have been into it. I would have been into it big time.
This album is not for the casual listener. Say? It's not?
Except most people
I mean,
don't even
Nickelback
listen to
is
albums
for-
anymore.
Nickelback as a band is.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the type of band they are.
I gotta put them in with Creed. I think Nickelback. I think Creed.
That's what I think as well.
Yeah.
This album cover looks like a Creed album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cantonese said, I used to be a Nickelback fan. Oh, I'm not anymore.
Oh, what happened, Jeff?
Why, Jeff? What happened? Expand.
Come on, Jeff.
Because you're older?
You outgrow Nickelback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Jeff.
Yeah.
You outgrow
Outgrow,
them.
do you mean middle school, high school, or college age?
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
you outgrow that, dude. Going back to AC/DC, right? I keep bringing up AC/DC. After Back in Black, I would listen to a couple other songs, like For Those About to Rock. I love that song. The rest of the album, I was done with AC/DC. You know, I've never heard another AC/DC album. I've heard the certain hit songs, but I outgrew them after Back in Black.
Yeah.
You know, you just outgrow some people. Kiss was the same thing. I liked Kiss when I was younger, dude. I don't like Kiss now. I grew past that.
Pretty much after Destroyer, it's like
You move on. You move on. Now there's other bands that, oh, dude, I loved all of their, Led Zeppelin. I could listen to all their, I go back and I listen to that again. The Beatles, I listen to that. They're I don't know, man. There's not all bands are created equal.
that's true.
Definitely not.
And every band has a stinker,
Every band, dude.
except for Testament.
And you missed it.
Journey.
Yeah, Jerry only albums.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
I love Radiohead, and even they have a stinker, dude.
Oh, yeah.
The Beatles had no stinkers, and Yellow Submarine is not a bad album.
It's not. I love Yellow Submarine.
On that.
See, everybody forgets Magical Mystery Tour, so
I
Magical
love that.
Mystery Tour.
Don't even say that. I love that album.
I love it too. I like it too.
Amazing. That's like one of their best songs ever.
They didn't.
I'm the Walrus, Strawberry Fields Forever.
That's the first Beatles song I ever heard.
I love I Am the Walrus.
Yes.
Me too. The Doors had,
That
all bangers.
Yeah.
Good albums. Short
Jimmy.
Yeah, they didn't have stinkers. They had albums that were weaker than the others.
Of course, that's something different.
We'll go
Yes,
with that.
They don't-
yeah. Like Led Zeppelin, Coda. Everybody says Coda. There's songs on Coda I really freaking like. Yeah,
Maybe-
weaker albums.
I think Typo Negative has a perfect discography where I don't think any of them are better or worse than each other.
I don't know them. This is cool. There's so many. There's so many
People were thinking about the album title and getting aneurysms.
All right, we're going to the wheel.
Spin. That
Goo Goo Dolls. Goo Goo Dolls.
ATR.
I think it's gonna be one of those.
I bought an album for this show. I'm just gonna say that. Personal.
Why did you do that? Oh,
It's the Goo Goo Dolls.
hey, I did that too. I bought several albums for the show.
Bro, we've
Not this round,
listened.
but
I was just trying to be funny.
It was a steal.
Bro, when you go back in how many shows we've done and how many albums, it's been it's a good amount already, man.
I don't know if we might have hit 70. I'm not sure.
There's albums that I forget that we've listened to tell you the
Yeah.
truth.
All right.
ATR. Let's go. Big money.
It's gonna be one of those.
Big money, and Nick 13.
Ooh, H2O.
H2O. Oh,
Whose is this? This is you?
mine.
Oh,
You
One of them.
H2O, use your voice. Never heard this. Never even heard this album title.
New York hardcore.
It's a New York hardcore band, but it's more of on the poppy side, I guess you could say.
Okay.
It's more. I don't listen to this band. I don't. This album is the only album that I've heard from this band.
Mhm.
Some of the other stuff I heard, I just don't like. I just think it's garbage.
Mhm.
This album is like full of. To me, it's full of bangers. It's like. It's good from start to finish,
Cool.
and I thought you guys would enjoy it possibly.
We'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Now there isn't a whole lot on the Wikipedia, so it'll probably be a short show.
The short chat.
Okay. I thought there would be more on Nickelback, to be honest.
I think the previous album has more
Okay.
information because of how massive it was.
I'm gonna keep my tape ready at the just in case boat. All right. I'm gonna keep it right here.
You won't need it next show.
Oh, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, buddy.
You'll have a lot to say.
We're gonna see, buddy. We're gonna see. Well, I'm gonna determine that. I'll be the judge of that, son.
The old country slang going on
Yeah.
there.
I'll be. You didn't know Cubans could do slang, country slang, huh? I'll be the judge of that.
That's like
Well, golly.
good one.
You gotta
I
skin
watched,
that fucker, just sit there and bleed.
What was that? Oh my god! What was that show? Oh my god!
Gee willikers.
I used to watch Hee Haw when I was a youngin.
I did too.
I watched
Hey,
Hee Haw
youngin.
when I was a youngin. I watched Hee Haw.
You're only a boy.
What was Dixie? What was her name? Dixie? Something. What was the?
I don't remember the details. All I remember is
What was the lady with all the hats?
Minnie Pearl.
Minnie Pearl. That's it. Minnie Pearl.
from the Grand Ole Opry.
And the guy that was on the banjo, man, that guy was awesome.
A guy from that show was in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. As a kid.
Really?
He was washed up and they put him on a tire, drove by him.
How do you know that?
I watched the commentary.
Yeah, but Texas Chainsaw was before Hee Haw was massive.
Hee Haw was around for years, though, man.
Wasn't that in like late 70s, early 80s?
No, there were it was 70, early 70s, maybe even 60s. Hee Haw was
I
around
think
for a
it was
long
from
time.
the 60s on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in Hialeah, us Cubans, we watched Lawrence Welk and Hee Haw because
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of channels back then.
My Lawrence Welk was my one great grandmother's show. My mom used to say she hated going to see her grandmother because when Lawrence Welk was on, you shut your mouth and sat there and watched it.
Yeah,
You
we
didn't
did
dare
the
talk or she was gonna smack her.
You would think none of my parents that barely knew how to speak English back then, dude, and we were watching Lawrence Welk, and yeah, when we visited aunts and stuff, that was always on. It was one of the things.
The bubbles.
Yeah, the bubbles.
The bubbles.
And him with this, and away we go. Good times. So
All
what's
right.
the name of the band? H2O,
Yeah.
and the album is
Use Your Voice.
Use
Your Voice. All right.
That's a statement.
Use your words.
Word.
I can't understand you if you don't use your words.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying.
All right. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks sounds. 2 weeks is what's the day? 25?
25th.
Ooh. That's
We'll be fine. We don't have to watch it live.
25, right?
25.
Yeah.
All right, 25 it is. I'll have my blue tape ready.
You won't need it.
I'm gonna need it, bro. I'm telling you.
All right. Nickleback, Dark Horse. Check it out or don't if you don't like Nickelback.
Road warning.
Take a time machine back to high school and give it a listen.
Yeah.
It's for you.
This afternoon, if you know, get out there and listen to some music.
Do it.